captain short-handed. Lapa makes a move, goes to the net, and scores! Greco, a shot, scores! The Geico Greco for my team scores! Here's the shot, save better!
You're watching Southern Lehigh Spartans hockey only on Nick's Hockey Broadcast. As we are reaching towards the end of the regular season, for the final time, the Southern Lehigh Spartans will take on the Central Catholic Saints. Throughout the year, and especially throughout the last few weeks, Spartans goaltender Blake Bennett has been playing some very good hockey, and he's looking to get another victory tonight. The Spartans have already clinched the playoff berth in the 2023 LVSHL playoffs, but they have 2 games remaining this season, including tonight, and they'll have to keep in a winning pace if they want to get the highest seed that they can possibly get. Welcome to the Litvak Network Podcast pregame show, hosted by Spartans forward number 32, Boris Litvak. The Litvak Network Podcast talks about stories about politics, sports, school, and more. Listen only on Spotify. Now, let's take a look at the LVSHL standings. Northampton, Bethlehem, Nazareth, and Southern Lehigh have all clinched a playoff spot in this year's 2023 LVSHL playoffs. All playoff games will take place at the PPL Center this season, the home of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. In the building tonight are 3 Spartans alumni. Former Spartan number 97, Clay Chemnix, number 5, Aiden Pale, and number 99, Hunter Lamelza. Lamelza last played in 2021, and Chemnix and Pale were key contributors to Southern Lehigh to win their first LVSHL title last spring. And now here are tonight's game inactives. 3 significant players are out, 2 for the Saints, 1 for the Spartans. Duncan Mitchelltree and Ethan DeLillo will be out tonight for the Saints. DeLillo scored twice against the Spartans in their last matchup, and Boris Litvak will not be here, unfortunately. And while he may not be playing tonight, at least we can still pretend he is. Play the clip.
It's hockey time!
Oh, I guess that line will never get old. Time for tonight's starting goaltenders. Blake Bennett, once again in net for Southern Lehigh, has started every game this season. And Michael Heitzler getting the nod between the crease for the Saints and played really well against Southern Lehigh last time these 2 teams played back on Halloween. Southern Lehigh has 13 points, 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. They last played on January 16th, and they lost to Ryan Murphy and the Nazareth Blue Eagles 2-1. Central, on the other hand, has had, unfortunately, a very struggling year. They only have 2 points, 1 win, 8 losses, no ties. They last played on January 23rd and lost to Northampton 5-2. They actually had a 2-0 lead in that game, but then allowed 5 unanswered goals. Puck is dropped, and we are underway. It's the Spartans and the Saints for the final time this year. Kakasi will pass right to Anthony Greco with 21 points this season as he goes over to the Saints territory, taken there by Tatum. As Koss gets a shot, blocked down as that deflects out of play. Sean Imbrogi, 54 in white, will hit it off towards the boards in front, so the Spartans trying to gain it back. Going after there was Christopher Annunziata, as the captain, Jack Kakasi, couldn't maintain possession as the Saints have it towards the corner. Ethan Meyer trying to get it out. The puck goes off the stick there. The boot of James Penniger. We have an arm up in the air. Our first penalty of the game, less than 1 minute in, and we'll see what this is going to be on. Spartans are going on the early man advantage. Parker Tatum will be in the box of shame for the next 2 minutes. Southern Lehigh will go on their early power play right now. Kloss, Penniger, Musgrave, Kakasi, and Greco are on the ice for the Spartans. And Brogy, Long, and Nuziata are all on the ice, as well as Hoffman. As Brogy will try to clear down right away and gets it out of the zone. No icing here. As Jack Casey, the member of the Valley Forge Minutemen and the captain of the Spartans team, brings it into the zone already on the power play. Casey takes a shot, deflects, and goes out of play. Jack Casey so far this season for the Valley Forge Minutemen has 24 points in 25 games. With Southern Lehigh, he has 10 points in 10 games. Kloss tries to win the tie-up. The Spartans will control. It's Anthony Greco once again. Got it to Mosgrave, looking for his first goal. Casey, a shot deflected off the stick, I believe, of Hoffman, and it goes to the corner. The captain, Annunziata, fails to get it out of the zone. Kloss, nice pass, goes to Anthony Greco, and bounces right to his stick. Greco took it. Casey winds one, scores! Pop goes the Jack in the Box. He lets it fly from the blue line, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Spartans. His 6th goal of the season. 1-0 Southern Lehigh on the power play goal. Good start for them. Definitely a lot more offense compared to how the last game went when the Spartans lost 2-1 to Nazareth. There was one problem they had. They couldn't solve Nazareth goalie Ryan Murphy, who's been outstanding in the LVSHL. I'll mention more about him in a minute. As Edwards takes the pass for Nick, Humphrey got it back towards Humphrey, couldn't take the play, as Thomas Ruff clears it all the way down. And this will be not icing. The Spartans now gather it back up. Daniel Mosgrave down towards center ice he goes. As he goes past the blue line, here comes Mosgrave. A shot save, Heitzler! Mosgrave in 10 games so far this season. No goals, 6 assists. But he had an outstanding game last game against the Eagles. Even though he had 1 assist in that game, but it's not just for that alone. He had a lot of great quality chances, bring the puck into the zone himself. He still has time here as Annunziata will clear it back towards the Spartan zone. Blake Benner will now clear it past the blue line as the Saints defense regroups. Luke Hoffman hits it off the center ice boards, going down to his knees with Wamelza as the Spartans will try to take it back. They do. It's Nicholas Humphrey, member of Phantoms Youth 16AA Orange. Hoffman gets it to Parker Tatum as it's intercepted there by Greco. Good play. He's the only Spartan. It's a 1-on-5. It almost seems like it is. As Greco will wait, takes a pass in front. They couldn't get a shot on net. As now Greco gets the puck once again. The guy Greco still waiting. Takes a shot, deflects off the pad of Heitzler and wide. Now it's Pennegar onto the corner. To Greco. The assistant captain will wait, takes a shot, it deflects. It actually bounces. He seemed like he fanned on the play as it goes to Brendan Wamelza. Touching it there was Tatum. Back it goes to Greco once more. He takes a wrister. Glove save. Heitzler as he holds on. So I was trying to say earlier about Ryan Murphy, starting goalie for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. He may not be playing tonight, but I think it's worth mentioning about him. In his last 2 games in the LVSHL, both against the Spartans and the Saints, he has saved 80 of 81 shots. The only goal against him in those 2 games was Spartans forward Eric Kloss. It was a shorthanded break last game. He may not be playing here tonight, but I just feel like it's just worthy of mentioning, seeing how well he's played so far this season, as now the Spartans will bring it back the other way. A Saint went down in the Spartan zone. Hard to see who that was from this perspective. And now, meanwhile, comes Jack Casey, but this will be an offsides against Southern Lehigh. He'll flip the puck into the air as the official catches it. Saints defenseman number 54, Sean Ambrogi, will be in the back here for the defense. His brother, Stephen Ambrogi, who wore number 27 last year, was a very good defenseman. And he's currently at Penn State. Trying to get it back towards center ice was near Schwartz. And now here comes Eric Kloss with that shorthanded goal last game. Kloss with a shot save made by Heitzler. Gravity brings the puck down up from the air. And now racing the other way is Henry Long. Henry Long gets tripped up towards the blue line. I'm not sure if that was on his own power, but it was no penalty regardless. Now here comes Daniel Mosgrave again. Back passing behind himself for Greco. Good creative play, but Long intercepted it. Henry Long, and he comes over the line, but right as he was crossing it, the Spartans take it back, and now here comes Anthony Greco back on the left side. Greco waiting for some options unless he'll shoot it. He'll pass when it deflects off Reagan Mitchelltree as Jack Piper clears it past the blue line. Mosgrave will have to retrieve it out. Both teams get a line change. Nearly all alone on the pass was Greco. He couldn't read the feed, and this will be an icing against Southern Lehigh. Saints forward number 10, Henry Long currently leads the team in points. He has 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 7 games. His brother Charlie was outstanding last year, Charlie Long, who had the second most points in the league last year. Henry Long actually had the 4th most points in the league last year. Both Long brothers had outstanding seasons as the Saints made the LVSHL Finals for the 2nd straight season last year. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to make it this time, as Casey will go, try to pass it in front, but nobody there to tip it home. Myrick was the nearest Spartan to it. Myrick, that pass goes off a Saints stick, picked up by Nick Humphrey. Humphrey walking into the net as he backhands it high and wide. That puck goes towards the paddle there of Heights, where Humphrey picks it up. It goes off the stick there of Hoffman, as the Saints will try to escape that, and they will for now. Christopher Nunziata trying to get to the puck, but Edwards got to it first, and now Myrick was near it, but he couldn't get the puck. Hoffman off the stick there of Tatum, as Southern Lehigh clears it back into the zone. This will not be icing. Spartans get reinforcements. Penninger and Kloss, Sargent, and Romelza are on the ice now, but this will be an icing against the Saints. Also, another thing to mention about Saints forward number 10, Henry Long. He scored last game and had 1 goal and 5 assists against the Parkland Trojans back on October 28th. And now here comes Eric Kloss, bursting the Jets once again. And he comes to the Saints zone. Kloss tried to dangle around the defender, but he lost control. He made too many moves as Greco tries to run into Sean Ambrogi. It's cleared to the line there from Musgrave. A shot deflects off Heitzler. Good save as it corrals towards the stanching of the boards. And it's barely kept onside by Sargent. Going behind the goal now is Brandon Lamelza. Greco picks it up, trying to wrap it around. Nice save made by Heitzler as he closes the door. Nolan Sargent, in his 31-game career, has never scored. He's on the ice right now as Greco tried to make a deke around Fritz, but he couldn't make the play. Thomas Rupp tried to pass it around Sargent, and the Saints will not try to move with numbers. Here comes Henry Long. Long tried to walk towards the net, but he ran into Brandon Lamelza. Good defensive play with his stick, but Long still has it. Trying to get to the side of the net. I'm not sure if Bennard got a piece of it. That shot goes towards the net of Bennard. It doesn't even touch him. It just went wide of the right post. Now it's Ambrogi. His shot bounces as it goes back to the corner. 10:08 and counting to go in the first period. 1-0 Southern Lehigh from the goal of Jack Casey. Speaking of Jack, here he is. Jack trying to go around back to the fence. Backhander! Scores! He's got another one! Jack Casey! And it's 2-0! With that goal, Jack Casey now passes Eric Kloss for 3rd most goals on the Spartans. And Jack now has 7 goals to the season. Just mentioning him, that's turnover in front. Towards the net, they score! The Saints get a turnover in front. Blake Better was scrambling. He couldn't get over in time. And just like that, the Saints cut the lead in half. The captain of the Saints gets it, Christopher Nunziata. Quick response, not even a minute later, and it's 2-1. Christopher Nunziata, his 4th of the season. Puck is dropped quickly. 2 quick goals in a matter of a minute or so. It's 2-1. Then deflects towards Heisler. A shot on net deflects wide. Nearly another goal there. Humphrey was trying to jab it free, but it did not succeed. Hoffman behind himself there for Tatum and Nick Humphrey to get it out there from Hoffman once again. Jack Piper will clear it. Deflects off a Spartan stick, and Sargent will have to regroup. Edwards, who scored twice against the Northampton Concrete Kids 2 games ago. And now comes Nicholas Humphrey once more. Wristing a shot, save Heitzler, and he will hold on. Another thing I just want to mention about Duncan Mitchell-Tree, he may not be playing, but he is one of the bigger fans of Nick's hockey broadcast. Wanted to thank him for that. In 7 games, he has 7 points, 4 goals, for 3 assists. And now the Saints defense will have to regroup. So the Saints made the finals the last 2 straight years. They lost to Northampton in 2021, and they lost to these Spartans last year in 2022. Eric Kloss will go to the corner. They had some solid seasons, but unfortunately it's been a down year for them. Kloss almost seemed like he tried to make a cross move quickly, but it was too quick for him to do it. Andrew Shoup was near it for the Saints, but the Spartans defense takes it instead. Penninger's pass tipped off a Saints stick. Nearly got it up by Schwartz. It goes to Penninger. James Penninger as he goes towards the wing. He'll try to avoid the check of Ambrogi as he goes down towards the corner. Gathered up there by Long as he runs into Anthony Greco. And now Henry Long will now take it as he moves down the other way to the Spartan zone to the circle. Long will back pass it, but no Saint to pick it up until there towards the point. And now the Saints pick it back up. They'll try to move right there. It's Long waiting, shooting one deflects. It may have been a fan shot as well as it's dumped back to the corner. Less than 8 minutes to go in the first period. 2-1 Spartans. Goals from Jack Casey 2 times and Christopher Annunziata for Central Catholic as this puck goes off the paddle of the stick of Blake Bennard. Coming the other way is Jack Casey. Had Kloss in front of him. He couldn't make the right pass, and no icing here. Shot in Brogy. Will pass one towards center, try to get it to Parker Tatum, and this will be an icing against the... No, not be icing. It almost seemed like it was going to based on the one arm in the air, but the other official waved it off. Meanwhile, here comes Cole Schwartz. Schwartz, a nice play made by Hoffman to get it out of his reach. And Piper will regather it, has Edwards right in front of him, and now it's Annunziata. Christopher Annunziata, as this will be in offsides against Central Catholic. The Saints have been struggling as of late going into this game. They have lost their last 8 straight, but they played a competitive game against Southern Lehigh back on Halloween. When the Spartans won 4-3, they took the lead from a goal from Anthony Greco with about 3 minutes left. The Saints played a very good game, and Michael Heitzler, as an example, had an outstanding game in net, I would argue. Sargent towards the corner off the stick of Tatum, gathered up by Reagan Mitchelltree, as this is a delayed offsides on the Saints. Brandon Mamelza can't pick up the puck as this goes all the way back to the corner. Icing on the Spartans. Off the time, Saints gather it towards the point. Mitchelltree will have to go after it, but it goes past the blue line, so the Saints will have to try this again. That goes now as the Saints bring it back the other way. It's Long. Good check there by Penninger. Saints get it back anyway. It's Annunziata shot. Nice save made by Bennard as the puck is now... Nobody knew where it was for a second, including myself. Jack and Casey tried to get it out, tried to firing a shot there was Hoffman, and now the Saints take it back. A backhander pass by Mitchelltree goes to center ice. A Saint goes down to the blue line. That was Henry Long. And Jack Piper picks it up for the Saints. Flips one to Annunziata. As James Penninger towards center ice off a Saints stick. As Mamelza trying to go over the line. Frets. That pass goes towards Wamelza. And now the Saints try to go the other way. It's Henry Long once again. Takes a wrist shot. Nice save made by Blake Bennard. 5.5 minutes to go in the first period. As this puck is now possessed by James Penninger. Penninger, outlet pass goes to Anthony Greco on an onside play. Greco will wait. Wristing one. Scores! The Geico Greco provides the insurance for the 16th time this year. And the Spartans lead 3-1. Anthony Greco getting another point on his great Spartans career. Another goal, of course, this will be not icing as Blake Bennard paddles the puck towards the corner. Musgrave's pass nearly intercepted. It was tipped off a Saints stick. That was the stick of Frets for Central Catholic. And now here comes Ethan Myrick with Greco on the side. Myrick a shot blocked there by Frets. Myrick gets the puck back, however, has Greco right next to him. Myrick will get it to the point. It's Nolan Sargent now. Sargent passed. It's intercepted there by Christopher Annunziata. Annunziata runs into there by Eric Kloss. Spinning away there was Musgrave. Turnover there. A backhander goes wide. Doesn't even hit the net of Bennard. As it's stuck there towards back to the corner. Daniel Musgrave's pass trying to get it to Greco on the bouncing boards. It goes off the stick of Frets as Blake Bennard recovers the puck behind his trapezoid zone, otherwise known as behind the goal. Musgrave blew a tire. Luckily, he didn't turn it over there. That would have been purely embarrassing. But it did not. But thankfully, from his perspective, that did not happen. Ambrogi. His pass tries to go to Andrew Shoup, who's still looking for his first point of the season. Now it's Schwartz. Saturday pass to his cross. He couldn't maintain possession. And now it's Greco who flipped one. It'll bounce past the camera view towards the point. Penninger or no one was there to pick it up, but the Spartans will still try to bring it back through neutral ice. Penninger's pass. Nice play to Greco. Anthony Greco has Fretz right in front of him. Fretz as he kicks it away. Good play there as Thomas Rupp has it on the right wing. Got it to Henry Long. And that's chipped off the stick there of Jack Casey, who gets tripped up, and it'll be a penalty. Delayed call. Casey a shot. Trickles near the line, and it goes past the post. The Saints touch it up regardless as the Spartans will go on the power play. Jack Casey, that close to getting a hat trick in the first period. Andrew Shoup, number 21 for the Saints, will be the one guilty of the penalty. It's a tripping call against him. He took down Jack Casey. And the Spartans are going back on the power play as Kloss wins the faceoff. Casey with the new protection on the front of his helmet. It's Musgrave. Side of the net goes wide of Heitzler. Now it's Greco again with a goal already in this game. Musgrave looking for 1-2. That chipped pass by Musgrave couldn't connect on the play to Greco as Anthony Greco will now retrieve it back on his own end. He'll give it back to his longtime buddy Jack Casey. Intercepted by Nuziata, who will shoot it all the way down. Eric Kloss. Here he comes with speed once again, if I haven't said it a million times already. Kloss, a shot, scores! Eric Kloss, the rookie, being sensational as he's been all year. His 7th of the season. Matching his number on his jersey. Power play goal, and it's 4-1. Eric Kloss, he likes to burst at speed. And now it's Edwards scores! M.J. Edwards! Not even 10 seconds later, 5-1. That is his 6th goal of the season. Scored twice against the Concrete Kids. He's got one against the Saints tonight. And now it's 5-1. This is the most goals they've scored against the Saints since Game 3 of the finals last year at 8 goals. Here comes Edwards again. Edwards side of the net deflects wide. 2 minutes to go in the first period. As this is stuck behind the goal. Saints trying to get it back out. It's still stuck. Where's the puck? It's got to be somewhere under that entire area of humanity and hockey skates. Finally comes out, and the Spartans manage to get it back the other way. It's Nicholas Humphrey. Has a Nuziata in front of him. Humphrey will wait. Moves to the side of the corner. Humphrey will still hold on. Shoots one. It might have almost seemed like it was going to be a pass, but it missed the net. Oh, what a hit by Humphrey towards the boards. Now it's Eric Kloss trying to move on in once again. He goes behind the goal. He's nearly jabbed there by Tao towards the corner. Tao, as that puck nearly deflects out of play. That appears to be Jackson Tao wearing number 35. If you notice his jersey is bigger, well, that's because he's actually a goaltender too. He's playing as a forward tonight for the Saints. Tao is 1-2-0 as a goaltender. And he's playing at forward tonight. Eric Kloss again. Here he comes. Eric Kloss, a shot deflects off of Mitchell Tree. Saves the play. Rebound, score! It bounced right back towards the net. The Geico Greco strikes again. And he makes it 6-1. Eric Kloss was bringing the puck towards the zone. It made a strange bounce. Came right towards the side of the right post. Greco was there. He just whacked it in. That is Greco's 17th goal. A goal bonanza game. 6-1 early on. As we have less than 30 seconds to go in the first period. And Brogy, Humphrey right in front of him. Shot in Brogy trying to get around it from Humphrey. Intercepted here. Here's Edwards. Shoots. Save made by Heights. A good right pillow pad stop as the Saints escape that. Long's pass to the right side. No Saint to bring it into the zone. Time's going to wind down in the first period. An excellent start for Southern Lehigh. Everything is going according to plan. It is 6-1 Spartans after 1. We will be back for the second. And now the second period is underway. Saints try to bring it back in as Reagan Mitchelltree as Greco's pass will go to Daniel Musgrave. Maybe he scores tonight. Don't mean to keep teasing him. As they'll air across, his shot goes wide. May went off the pad of Heights, or hard to save from this perspective. As now Long try to get out of the zone. Saints clear it all the way down, and this is an easy call, icing against the Saints. So for Henry Long, last year he had 29 goals, 14 assists for 43 points, and he had the fourth most points in the LVSHL last season, number 10 for the Saints. His brother Charlie Long, who wore number 81, no longer here, is now at Lehigh University. He had 28 goals for 30 assists for 58 points, the second most points in the LVSHL last season, 1 point shy of the league leader, former Spartan Patrick Laughlin. And now Eric Kloss's pass taken there by Hoffman as the Saints defense goes off the stick of Eric Kloss again. And now here comes a Nuziata. Good forechecking play with the pitch-working stick there was Sargent, who gets hit right in front of us. The puck is still loose as Kloss nearly is toppled over. And Greco will now move with acceleration. Greco has Schwartz right next to him as Greco will try to go around the defense. Anthony Greco trying to take it off. Backhander shot goes wide. Greco trying to get the hat trick as well as Jack Casey. As this bouncing puck will go down towards the Saints' point. And Nuziata will backhand it into the corner as the Saints get some reinforcements. And now it's Hoffman. Now they're trying to wrap it around from a Nuziata. Nice save made by Blake Bennett. He can't cover the rebound as Anthony Greco's tried to one-hand it out of the zone. He can't. Pass in front. It goes to a Nuziata. Missed the net with a shot. Oh, he was dangling around all alone in front of Blake Bennett, but he couldn't even hit the iron. Meanwhile, here comes Anthony Greco. He's got Edwards and Schwartz. Pass in front, and they score! A big chance for the Saints to score on this end. The Spartans score on the other. Cole Schwartz appears to be the one to get the goal into the back of the net, and it's 7-1. His fourth of the season. The onslaught continues on as Ethan Meyer takes the pass from James Penninger. And he comes. He shoots one. Blocker saved by Heitzer. Puck is up in the air. Bounces towards the... No, it just almost thought it was bouncing towards into the net, but no. It went to the corner. That would have been a disaster for the Saints there. Now it's Humphrey. He'll still wait. Holding on there. Back passes it goes towards Penninger. Now to Jack Casey. He shoots one. Scores! He's got the hat trick. 8-1. Oh, it's a field day for the blue and white tonight. Glove side of Michael Heitzler. Jack Casey, his 8th goal of the season, ties him for second with James Penninger, who has 8. Spartans get the puck right into the zone right away as Heitzler will hold on. Saints try to take back control. It's Henry Long. He'll wait to the corner, try to get to Nuziata, as now he'll move back the other way. It's a 2-on-2 for the Saints as Nuziata just clears it in right into the breadbasket of Blake Bennett, as he will not take any chances there. Kloss won this faceoff. Sargent nearly lost it. Long gets a shot on that anyway as Blake Bennett stands up high and makes the stoppage once again. Off this face-off, Mitchelltree got to Long. He shoots again, and it goes wide. Now the Saints scatter it once again, try to get it to Long, who was right near the net as the knuckle puck goes to Sargent. Musgrave will go after it back towards the corner. Musgrave now to Anthony Greco in front of him. Nice play. Greco to Eric Kloss. Here comes Kloss. Moving on in for a shot. Kloss, a shot! Scores! Kloss has now got another one, a 2-goal game for the rookie, 9-1. So now Penninger has 8 goals, Jack Casey has 8, and Eric has 8. What is it with the number 8 tonight? But now it's not 8-1 anymore, it's 9-1. Jack Casey, the captain, with a hat trick. Let's see if he can do more. Here he comes again. He makes a pass that goes to Cole Schwartz with a goal already. Takes a shot on net as that deflects but stays in bounds. Stays in play too as Anthony as Jack Casey takes a shot from the angle, but it bounces high and wide. James Penneker retrieves it back out. As Mitchelltree right in front of him ran into her stick, still has the puck anyway. Penneker lost it, and now the Saints will move the other way. It's a 3-on-1, and now here comes Mitchelltree, who fanned on the shot as the Spartans escaped that chance, luckily from their perspective. Casey's pass now goes to Edwards on the right side. Edwards throws one across, and it goes wide towards Myrick. Penneker, one-timer blocked there by, I believe that was Long. May well have him or Myrick, as now Myrick gets back to Penneker. Side of the net is Schwartz. Puck to the back and stirred toward the corner as Ambrogi will now bring it towards the left wing there for the Saints. He'll just dump it back into the corner. Saints get a line change. Myrick to Sargent. Sargent kicked there by Schwartz, who will go after it once again. Nice play by Ambrogi to deke around him. As now this pass goes to Tao, couldn't connect on the play, and this will be no icing. Sargent will give it to Penneker, or goes to Greco instead. Greco will now get it towards MJ Edwards, goes over towards the side of the ice of the Saints, as his shot's blocked down by Jack Piper. Piper goes down, as Sargent will pick up the puck for Southern Lehigh. Musgrave gets it to Eric Koss. Here he comes, trying to dig around the defense. Gets a shot on net. Save made by Heitzler, and he's got it. Nolan Sargent wristing a shot. Nice save made by Heitzler with the right pad. As Roop lost it there from Nicholas Humphrey. Roop gets it back. Thomas Rupp, excuse me. As Greco got the pass to Sargent. He lets it go. Nice save made there by Heitzler. Greco back to Sargent. It goes once more. His shot blocked there by Howe, the backup goaltender for the Saints. Jack Piper tried to scoop it out of harm's way from their viewpoint as Sargent regathers it up. Less than 11 minutes to go in the second period. 9-1 Spartans. Dominating game by them as this pass comes from Musgrave. Sargent, a shot goes wide. Nolan Sargent that close to getting his first ever goal as a Spartan. He doesn't have any in his career. Pass in front to the side of the cage, and they score! Long back towards the point. Cleared back into the zone, though it's taken there by Jack Casey, who accidentally hits it out of play. So the Spartans going into this game are on a 3-game winning streak against Central Catholic. At this point, it's going to likely be 4 games in a row. They beat them on Halloween 4-3, as MJ Edwards will have it towards the corner. To the pass in front, but it goes wide back towards the corner. The Saints will now try to clear it towards out of the Spartans bench, and now the Spartans bring it back there from Myrick. Edwards trying to get it pass in front there, but it's blocked down as Jack Casey gets it back up. Has 3 goals. Will now pass it in front, goes up the stick of Annunziata down towards Myrick. He's shoved there by Ambrogi behind the goal. Less than 10 minutes to go in the second period. 10-1 Southern Lehigh as this puck is bounced towards the center ice as James Penneker will go back towards the right side. Penneker will try to dig it on, try to take a shot on net, but it goes wide of Heitzler. Captain Jack will maneuver around, makes a pass to Lamelza. Lamelza whacks one and it deflects wide. Now it's back to Jack Casey. He shoots one, deflects and goes wide. Rebound there for Penneker from the side of net. Save made. Heitzler as Central Catholic brings it back the other way. Annunziata has Casey in front of him. Pass in front, backhander. Nice save made by Benner from Henry Long. Long again. Save Benner once more. Good tandem stops by the Spartans netminder. Shoop to the point. Shot that deflects, goes wide. This is kicked there nearly by Wamelza as Jack Casey makes the pass to Ethan Myrick. Spartans moving with numbers nearly. They can hurry. Myrick pass to Casey. Is shot. Scores! It's 11-1 as we will have a timeout here called by the Saints. During last season when the Spartans and Saints met, they met a total of 5 times if you include the regular season and playoffs. Southern Lehigh astonishingly lost to the Saints 16-1. I've been told that by the locker room they were missing, the Spartans were missing several starters. Kind of similar to see on how the Saints were actually missing a few players such as Duncan Mitchelltree and Ethan DeLillo, for example. But anyways, then the Spartans won 6-4 in their last game. They played the Saints in the regular season last year. The Spartans lost Game 1 of the finals in the best-of-3 series 5-3 last year. They rebounded strongly and won 4-2 in Game 2 to keep their season alive. And then for the Spartans to win their title last year against the Saints, they won that game, a final score at 8-4. The last playoff game of the LVSHL at the rink at Lehigh Valley. Speaking of the rink at Lehigh Valley, if you now look to the screen, you can see pictures of what the rink looks like now. It's been converted into a turf field, seemingly mainly to be used for soccer. I visited there the other day. This photo here is where I actually was spotted recording games 1 and 2 of the finals last year. And this spot right here is where I filmed Game 3. We'll miss the rink, but at least we have this place to play in for the rest of the season. And this year's LVSHL playoffs will be at the PPL Center, home of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. It'll be the same playoff format as last year. 4 teams. First round, the semifinals will be 1 versus 4 seed, 2 seed versus 3, 1 game elimination. The last ever official LVSHL game ever played at the rink at Lehigh Valley was the 2022 LVSHL All-Star game played 1 week later. I'll be having a new video actually released on that soon. Stay tuned for that. Anthony Greco will give it to Musgrave's pass as Eric Koss will bring it back towards the other way on the wing. Eric Koss to the right side. Back pass it goes to Schwartz. Schwartz behind him from Annunziata, trying to get it out of him. As it now goes to Anthony Greco. He'll still hold on. Greco pass in front, jabbed in there. They score again. It is 12-1. This is brought back towards the zone there of Nolan Sargent. As this bouncing puck goes towards the point. A shot there from long range. Nice glove save made by Blake Benner. He won't even hold on. So play will continue on. Sargent's pass towards Schwartz. Sargent ran into Annunziata. They're both getting up. Hopefully they're both okay. They seem to be. Annunziata has a lot of snow as an equipment. Thank goodness no one got hurt there. At least it doesn't seem like it at this time. Eric Kloss towards the right side as he'll go behind the net. And now he's back towards the corner. Eric Kloss to Musgrave. Musgrave. Pass it goes there for Sargent. He takes this shot. Nice save made by Heitzler. Bounces towards up into the air as it does not go towards the goal much further from there. That's glove there by Eric Kloss. As now Kloss gets another shot on net that goes wide of the net of Heitzler. 7:08 and counting to go in the second period. Now the Saints try to bring it back the other way, but not for much longer as Eric Kloss got to Anthony Greco. Greco's pass nearly towards Schwartz. He couldn't connect the dots on that play. And now Jake Fretz picks it up. MJ Edwards will now get it to James Penninger. Penninger will wait back in. Her shot goes wide. Jack Casey's pass tipped off a stick towards the goal crease there. Anthony Greco will now move back towards the corner. I would think the Spartans will try to be a little more careful here at this point, just not to risk injury. So one thing for the Spartans to look out for, since they will likely win this game at this rate, they'll have one more game left this season. It'll be in 2 weeks. It'll be the Spartans senior night when they will take on the Phillipsburg State Liners. James Penninger with the stare of death right at the camera. Oh, that's gonna be turned into a meme. That is good stuff. But anyways, the Spartans have one more game left this season. They will play the Phillipsburg State Liners in 2 weeks on their senior night. And the good thing is that they have one more game left compared to the Nazareth Blue Eagles. The Eagles will have one game left in their season. They'll play against the Northampton Concrete Kids. So if Northampton can do Southern Lehigh a favor and defeat them, it can really help the Spartans try to climb on back to potentially get the 3rd seed. But with a win here tonight, they at least have a chance to catch up. The Phillipsburg State Liners at this time are actually on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Saints and Parkland twice. As then a Spartan blows a tire. It's Jack Casey, but the Saints do not run away with it. At least not for now. Nicholas Humphrey passing as he goes past the line. Humphrey's pass goes to Ethan Meyer, going to gain control and possession. And now it goes back to Humphrey on the forehand. Takes a shot, goes wide. May went off a Heitzler and out. as the Saints will now move on a 2-on-2. They get a shot. It bounces right to the net there of Blake Bennard, and he will squeeze it. That shot on net came from number 6, Thomas Rupp. Lamelza, Kloss, Sargent, Musgrave, and Schwartz will be on the ice now for this face-off. As the Saints try to get a pass from Andrew Shoup, but couldn't get it towards the crease. As the Saints get a shot on net, save made by Blake Bennard from Luke Hoffman. Off this tie-up, Kloss gained control of it. Schwartz with the pink tape on his stick. Cool color choice. I like that. As Sargent takes down a Saints player as he fell down as well. Accidentally, he ran into Thomas Rupp. Schwartz making a pass behind himself to get it out of the zone. Now it's Jake Fretz's pass to Sargent. Gets it to Brandon Lamelza. He'll move the other way. Brandon Lamelza on the right side. There's a Brogy next to him. Lamelza lost control, and a nice play is made by Sean Brogy to get out of harm's way. And Brogy clears it as he goes past the red line. No icing here. Daniel Musgrave in front for Lamelza, runs into Brogy. As Lamelza almost seemed like he was trying to hug Brogy, trying to get the puck out from him. As Musgrave's pass makes a read feed towards Schwartz, lost possession there from a Saints defender near the Spartans bench. 2.5 minutes to go in the second period. 11-1 Southern Lehigh. Nolan Sargent. Back from Musgrave, they'll play catch. Sargent's pass at the center to Eric Kloss. Here comes Kloss. He'll still away. Is he going to be right on cue? Not for now. Penninger a shot. Save Heitzler. Bernuziata has Penninger right in front of him on a 1-on-5. Takes a shot, goes wide of the post of Bennard. Reagan Mitchelltree now will pass it towards the boards to Parker Tatum. Tatum around there from Penninger with this little smirk on his face as the pass goes in front, but it's taken away by Jack Casey, who will move it back the other way. Ethan Myrick, last minute to play in the second period. He goes down towards the boards. As Hoffman couldn't get the puck, it goes to Reagan Mitchelltree instead. Member of Phantoms Youth 19U girls, who just had their senior game. So again, Southern Lehigh will be celebrating their big senior night next game against the State Liners, their final game of the regular season. That'll be on February 13th. The playoffs won't start until March 2nd, so all teams will get a lot of time to rest up and get ready for the big games at the PPL Center. Cole Schwartz now towards the corner as he'll throw it backhand in front there for Penninger. He couldn't get a shot on net. 11 seconds of counting to go. Saints try to clear it as they can. As Casey, his shot! Glove save made. Heitzler. Third period about to begin. Spartans up by, well, you can see how much they're up by. I don't have to say it again right now. The third period is about to commence, the final one of regulation. And now we continue the play on. Spartans will be shooting back over here. As now Schwartz try to get it to MJ Edwards, who was over the blue line already, so this will be an offsides. Eric Kloss, back he comes. Guy to Humphreys, wristing a shot. Nice save made by Heitzler as that goes off the ceiling. Greco and Tatum for this face-off. Greco won it. Schwartz to Musgrave. It's 12-1 Southern Lehigh, their biggest lead in the game all year, as it goes towards the net there of Heitzler as he'll poke check it away. Back it comes for Anthony Greco. Towards the circle he comes. He'll try to get it to Schwartz. He tips it high and wide. He looks up to the heavens in frustration, trying to get yet another goal. Did not work out there. Now it's Lamelza. Lost it there from Anuziata. Musgrave keeps it into the zone. Gathered up by Greco. Holding on. Greco's not going to shoot here as he'll still regroup here. Looking for some options. Greco a shot. Blocked in front there as it goes under the linesman. Goes off under the official, as now the puck goes to the point. Musgrave to Schwartz. Trying to get there is Jake Fretz. Puck to the back is Musgrave. He shoots one. Save made by Heitzler. Still can't get that first goal. I'm not trying to jinx him, but it's true. As Schwartz, guy back towards Musgrave, keeps it in the zone. Musgrave will now go to the bench for some rest. Brogy and Lamelza. Greco gets it back out to the corner. To Sargent. Sargent a shot blocked down there by Mitchelltree. A shot by Sargent goes off the side of the cage as it goes back towards the net of Heitzler as he has the puck under the entire area of players and he covers up. Humphrey, Myrick, Edwards, Kakasi, and Penninger are on the ice for the Spartans. Hoffman, Long, and Brogy, Piper, and Towle are now up for Central Catholic. You can see under the armpits of Jackson Towle, it's definitely a goalie jersey. It's a big jersey. As Sean and Brogy off the back there of MJ Edwards, Jack Piper gets it back out towards Henry Long. Long on the right side. Long will still wait as he has it there towards the point. James Penninger in front. There's a shot on net there by Jack Piper, blocked by a Spartan stick. And now Henry Long will try to go right to the net. I believe Blake Benner got a piece of it as now the Spartans cleared back towards center ice. Imbrogi to Jack Piper. As Jack Casey has it there for the defense. He'll backhand it towards center ice. Bounces to Imbrogi as it's taken away. James Penninger moving it alone. Save Heitzler. Rebound was blocked there by Myrick as it goes past over the net. And now it's Jackson Towle off the skate of Henry Long as Jack Casey, what an outstanding game he has had tonight. We'll see if he's got more offensive, dangerous capabilities against the Saints with 11.5 minutes to go in regulation. 12-1 Spartans, an 11-goal lead. Hoffman towards Long, nearly stolen by the Spartans, and now it is nearly by Lamelza, but he couldn't get to the puck in time. Now Lamelza got it anyway! Heiser makes the save as the rebound is covered up. Lamelza looking to, trying to get his second goal of the season. Cannot come up with one there. His only goal of the season was against the Parkland Trojans. 10-15 counting to go regulation. To the point it goes. Sargent a shot blocked in front there by the stick of Schwartz and Fretz. And now it's back to Sargent again. Back passes and goes to Schwartz. Schwartz waiting off the stick of Andrew Shoup as it goes to the corner of Brendan Lamelza. Whacks at it as Lamelza is now taken down there on his knees. I'm not sure if there's a tripping call or not, but I can see at this point they'll let the penalties fly. Schwartz goes down to the circle. Meanwhile, it's Musgrave. Takes a shot. Save made. Lamelza is down. Backhander shot. Save Heitzler as it goes right into his chest. Kloss and Long for this face-off. Kloss won it. As Nolan Sargent turns away there from Reagan Mitchelltree. Musgrave now. Musgrave side of the net is Schwartz. Schwartz passive for centering there. Saved there by Heitzler as he turns it away. Long's pass. Turn over there. It's Eric Kloss again. Kloss. Musgrave. Wrister. Save Heitzler as he got a piece of it with his stick. Mitchelltree ran into Sargent as she gets it out the other way. Trying to get it towards Long. No icing here. Long gets a wrister. Nice save made by Blake Benner. Ethan Myrick will now get it out to Eric Koss. Here he comes on the wing. Eric Koss will hold on. Got it back for Myrick. Goes wide. Mitchelltree's pass towards Anuziana, taken away by Myrick as he dumps it back into the corner. Sean Imbrogi takes the puck himself. Turned over there to Anthony Greco. You don't want to turn it over to him. Still has it. Greco waiting as he'll pass it in front. He's trying to get it towards James Penninger, but he couldn't get the right eye coordination. Oh, man. Back comes Henry Long on the left wing. Long trying to pass it in front there towards the net. Blake Benner. He scrambles, and Bennard manages to get the puck. This faceoff is gathered there towards the high slot as the Spartans move back the other way. It's nearly 3-on-1. 2-on-1 now. Anthony Greco will hold on. Trying to pass it in front towards Nick Humphrey. He ran into a Saints player as he couldn't connect on the play from Anthony Greco. James Penninger lost it towards center ice, but the captain, Jack Casey, thankfully from the Spartans' viewpoint, dumps it back in as it goes off the blocker of Heitzler. Imbrogi nearly off the official, but thankfully it did not hit him. As now Hoffman from Imbrogi going behind the net. Imbrogi's pass off the left boards. This will be going all the way down, but no, it's not going all the way down to the other side of the rink. Jack Casey to Ethan Myrick. Myrick will now try to burst the Jets as he'll bring it back towards the circle. Mike trying to get around Ambrogi, he'll shoot it back to his under defender of Hoffman. Towel trying to go in after it there. As Casey nearly off the stick of Parker Tatum. It was. He'll backhand it towards the stick there of Heitzler. He'll leaves it there for Sean Ambrogi. Ambrogi around towards the other side of Hoffman. Jack Piper. Shot there from the point. Glove save Heitzler. That came from Jack Casey as he'll squeeze to hold on. Spartans win the faceoff. Sargent. Musgrave gets it back to Sargent. Maintains control. Shoots! Scores! Nolan Sargent gets his first goal ever as a member of the Southern Lehigh Spartans.
Finally!
In his 31-game career, he finally nets one home. I don't believe anyone tipped that puck en route, and it's 13-1. Sargent's been with the Spartans for 3 seasons. He was not here last year. This is labeled as his senior year. He gets his first ever goal as a Spartan. Good for him. Musgrave, break pass. Here comes Cole Swartz. Has a defender near him. Centering pass to Edwards. Side of the net. Score! Wamelza! His second of the year. Falls down in the celebration. And it's 14-1. Unlikely goal scorers, Brandon Wamelza and Nolan Sargent scoring within the last minute. 14-1. Brandon Wamelza, that is his second goal of the season. Was out for a good chunk of last year with injury, but he's got his second goal of the year right now. Henry Long turning back from Nolan Sargent. Now it's Cole Swartz, who recently had an assist. As now Parker Tatum got to the corner there of Hoffman. No, that was Henry Long, excuse me. He's behind the goal trying to get to Jake Fretz. As he'll backhand it now towards Henry Long again. Henry Long will wait behind the net, try to center it back in front, but he couldn't connect the play. Hoffman off the stick of Fretz. As now the Spartans try to go the other way. They do. Here comes Cole Swartz. Nice play by Hoffman. Swartz to the net anyway. And it's poke checked away. This pass is now nearly gathered up there by Jack Piper, who now will try to move down toward the left side of Henry Long. Jack Casey in front there for Wamelza, bounces towards Ambrogi. Ambrogi runs into Wamelza. Now it's gathered up there by Eric Kloss. Kloss will wait behind the goal, looking for some help. Has Casey got it to him. Casey waits. Pass in front. Tipped wide by Paniger. Rebound hit off the side of the cage. In front again as the Saints scoop it out and they broom it aside. Now it's Jack Casey again with Kloss and Paniger at other option plays, trying to deke around Ambrogi, but the puck ran into him instead. Cleared past the line. No icing here. Less than 3 minutes to go in regulation. The Spartans with an absolutely exceptional effort tonight, to say the least. Up 14-1. They'll get the record will go 7-3-1. Here's Kloss, glove save made by Heitzler, and as that goes back to the corner. Jackson Tao tipped it. No icing here. They probably won't call any icings at this point. Greco tried to center and pass towards Swartz, but he couldn't get a shot on net. 20 seconds to go in regulation. Now this is a tip stick there from Sargent. Greco takes it back, however. 14 seconds. Greco a shot! Hit the side of the cage. Wamelza centering pass as the Spartans try to get a shot from Swartz, and it goes high and wide. Time's going to wind down Municipal. One last chance. Anthony Greco behind the goal. Backhander off the side of the net goes wide. The Spartans, an exceptional and great victory over the Saints. Final score, 14-1. They'll be back in 2 weeks when they take on the Phillipsburg State Liners on their senior night. Thank you for joining us for Nick's Hockey Broadcast.